Good morning. I'm taking you to one of my local favorite walking little loops, Fort Ward Park. It's a simple little park, but it's nice, little postage stamp park. And I live very close to the Virginia Theological Seminary. I just came from their 9:15 a.m. service. Sorry, 8:15. It's early. And the service was actually outside. And the burned out kind of remained relic of their first chapel. They have a new chapel. So in the brick kind of towers of the old chapel, they built a area where we can sit and meditate. And so that's what I am. So I am coming from meditation. There's a breeze there. There's power in that air. Direct from the trees to my lungs. There's power in the sunshine. There's free energy in sunshine. The cones don't burn any energy to process natural light. This is free energy. And what does that mean? That means that my other energy is released. So as we evolved in something a little kind of sort of like this without the asphalt and the sirens in the background. This is a historic area, kind of a stopping point in the Civil War, Fort Ward, just a tiny little memorial there with some cannons and things. A really nice gift shop, very close where I live. So, what is spirituality? Spirit, air. It's an outdoor service I just came from. There's a flute player. So we sang some kind of familiar Episcopal songs, repetitive, Taizé, as it were. If you've never been to a Taizé service, it's a service of short, repeated, usually in candlelight, and usually you light candle, and there's, kind of a minimal type guidance of thought and concepts, helping others, being of service to humanity. So the power of slowing down. You work hard, you play hard. You drive hard, you back way back. That's evolution too. And I want to share with you this morning. The dew is still on the grass here. There are all sorts of different grasses here. Any number of variations in the grass. And people are walking. They are jogging. They have their animals. I'm heading towards a picnic table to park. And this very sort of a grassy knoll is going to be behind me here. Friendly interaction with people of all walks of life. And relatively untouched. You see the molds on the gangly roots protruding. So, what does it mean? This is the planet this is a hint of how we evolved. No bugs. Not that I can see. I'm sure they're out there. There you go. There's a little flying something. Looks like a kind of a little It's not a honeybee, but it's in the bee family. What is the power of this in our lives, and how do we claim it and find our humanity through it? It seems like I've been talking for 10 minutes. It's only been like 5 minutes. I'll give you a panorama here. So I would say I'm very fortunate to have this little patch of oasis close to where I live. And I often, on my little scooter, I just roll around it. It's 1.6 miles, I believe, the loop. So I wanted to share this with you after I had this amazing service. And when we slow down and stop to look at the variety of life and interest in our own environment, mosses, fungi, varieties of grass, glistening in the morning dew. I just passed kind of 8 varieties of fungi. Now, there's a lot of medicine. And fungi, the fungal world, we don't talk about it too much, but it's down there. And it's almost monstrous what that phyla of evolution, how it looks and lives and all that stuff. It's weird. We don't know too much about it, but we're doing a pretty good job destroying it. So we need to stop doing that, I think. We need to reclaim our evolution, our rights to evolution. And, I understand that the world is what it is. We're protected. Look at all we can do within a human lifespan, surrounded by plastic. But guess what? This is still a part of who we are. So I share this peace, this sparkling serenity. There's no end of looking into it. Now I'm looking at some rustling leaves twinkling, and they're starting to turn color. You see the red pops in the distance. In other words, we would wake up to this as evolving humans. Probably something much different. This is just a little pocket of peace. And it's pretty untouched, which is unusual. The grasses, like I say, are just, I can't even count the varieties of different grasses and ground coverage here. It's safe. And it's our birthright in a way. So, as we tap into our own selves each and every morning, sometimes it's good to remember that meditation is the closest it may bring us to this. That prayer is the wild, wonderful unknown of this. That foraging is a part of what we did in this. I'm looking at some, they kind of look, I guess they're kind of in the acorn family. You better believe we'd be eating this. It looks almost edible. It's got a little, go home and plant this. Look at that, just picked it up. So, we want to evolve within our own human lifespan. And in order to do that, the elements of this world inform how we practice that in our own world. I just found this, and I probably gather all I could find and start a little fire later and roast them up and hope they're tasty. That's my meal for the day. The oxygen is always here. The dew on the grass, may have been collected overnight to give me something to drink this morning. So as we've industrialized and concretized, I think that's a new word, concrete. We've concretized. Ugh. Not a great word. Not a great word. This looks like beach type soil. Unlike the Virginia red soil that is, I guess, iron. So this is my little glistening. See, I'm just giving myself permission. I work hard, I play hard, and I rest in order to be so accomplished in the work that I do. I'm fortunate to be a professional musician all these years. It's kind of quick, easy money for me because I'm an accomplished musician, which frees me to make time for stuff like this. And it is 9:23, and I left my house about 7:45 to go to this outdoor Virginia theological service this morning. A week ago, it was the bishop, and he couldn't even count the white collars that were there. So just these practices of gathering, being still, going through the rituals of the religious practices. Of course, we question them, but we use them for our own stability in the spiritual sense. Look at these photos. They just don't stop. The cricket in the background. This, a little gnat. Oh, get out of here. Ooh. There's power, strength, fortification, self-embodiment in these environments. Please, please be open-minded. Put your darn shoes on, get out the door, and go. Now, this is not the first time I've been here. So it is a practice. It is a habit. I encourage you, please, find your place of peace. And I see people walking. I did a study on qualitative, how people walked, Some walk to get the cardio, okay. Some it's on their schedule and they're just, you're missing all of this. And I've talked to people who have walked this path. I'm like, do you realize, if you're taking a look at the grasses, they're all different. There's a massive variety of grass coverings here. It's not just grass. It's morning. How are you? I'm doing a how do you like walking along this path? I'm doing a video on how powerful the presence of this space is.
And connecting. You absolutely look radiant.
Thank you.
Yes.
I feel radiant.
You exude it.
Thank you, dear. There you have it. You want radiance? Let me show you how. Breathing. Proaxia. Take a breath. Let it fuel your system. That's one. Take 10 of those. Don't pass out. If you're not used to it, hang on. Take a third one. La 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 la. When you sing, it's easier to hold on to the breath a little longer. Woo. Do 10 of those, and then you have an oxygen gradient, at which point, one of my favorite songs, shall we? I'm going to go to 20 minutes. And walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, you'll never get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Gonna walk and never tire. That's an oxygen gradient. You never tire. Oh, walk and never tire. We're gonna walk and never tire. 'Cause there's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. We're gonna sing and never tire. Oh, sing and never tire. We're gonna sing and never tire. 'Cause there's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Sing together, children, don't you get weary. Walk together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Gonna sing, shout. Oh, what is that? Shout and never tire. Oh, shout and never tire. We're gonna shout and never tire. 'Cause there's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Oh, walk together, children, don't you get weary. Sing together, children, don't you get weary. Shout together, children, don't you get weary. There's a great camp meeting, great camp meeting. There's a great camp meeting in the promised land. Yep. Okay, I'm just starting, that power, because I established that oxygen gradient. We're in decent shoes, not too hot, not too cold. And yeah, you stay on top of that oxygen gradient. So those 10 deep breaths, and don't forget to breathe while you're doing it. You map it in. You're doing a speech, you take those deep breaths, you go out there, you do B, big breath. You map it in when you take, so you're going to establish oxygen gradient, then maintain it. They've got a little theater here, and these guys are cutting down some tree branch. All right, there you go. Well, they cut down a tree branch. You get a bunch of guys who stand around and figure out how to cut it down. All right, I'm coming up on the 20-minute mark. I wanted to share with you this incredible park. This incredible has picnic areas, and it is busy on the weekend with a lot of picnics and such, but it's just, it's just a postage stamp of reminder of how we evolved and how we can continue to tap into that and build our spiritual wellness, health, everything else. Have a great day. Thanks for listening and letting me share my world with you. Goodbye.